Hey guys, this is Gloria. So I am back to share with you guys how to put together the box that I created that looks like this one. I shared this with you guys on a video where I made this little window shaker in the front, and my inspiration was Liller as well as Erica here on YouTube. So someone asked me if I can do a tutorial, and I had cut this out on yesterday, so I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys how to do this. So first things first, these are all of the pieces that I cut out for my box, and this is the Maggie Holmes collection, and I can't remember which collection this is right now, but I will definitely link it down below for you guys. And I also have these parts right here, and these are going to go in the inside as the little compartments to hold all the goodies for the box. So first things first, in order to make this a shaker box, I'll just move this stuff. The first thing that we want to do is we want to cut some acetate. Now my this frame right here, I actually created this on my Cricut. So this is a silhouette cut, and I just bought the SVG version of it. I already had the other version for the Cameo, but I honestly like the way my Cricut Maker cuts way better than my Cameo. But anyway, I created this because there is a square in the cut, and then of course there's the piece that cuts out of the top of the box, right? Which is this one right here. And all I did was I layered the two, attached them, and that allowed me to create this particular window piece. So the other thing that you're going to need besides the cut is two pieces of acetate cut in a square, and that's if you want it to be see-through. If you don't want it to be see-through, then you need some pattern paper or some vellum or something like that to go underneath it, but you're going to need two pieces. So the first thing that you're going to do when you're making a shaker, and I'm just trying to find out which side is the front and which is the back. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to put some tape on this part right here, and I'm just going to use this 1/8 inch tape that I picked up from Tuesday morning, and you're going to just tape it on all four sides. Am I doing it on the right side? I guess it doesn't really matter because it looks the same on both sides to me. So I'm just going to use this tearaway tape, and I'm going to try my best to stay in focus for you guys. And you're going to just layer the tape all the way around. And I was going to cut out a bunch of pieces of this video and kind of do some steps ahead of time, but I'm always asked on videos about how you create shakers, and I've done tutorials on shakers already, and I've shared a bunch of shakers, but for some reason, you know, sometimes people don't want to go back and watch older videos, and I get it. It's cool. So all I'm doing is just releasing the backing paper, because what I want to do is I want to layer on my acetate, and of course I can't get the backing paper off because I'm on camera. So you want to make sure that you got tape all over that, because that's going to be where you're going to layer your acetate. So I'm going to take a piece of my acetate, and I'm just going to try to line it up the best I can. And I'm kind of standing up, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to do. But I'm just lining this up. And I actually cut my acetate about 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to have to bring it close to me. Sorry, guys. I cut my acetate about 1/4 of an inch smaller than my window, because I noticed that last time when I cut it to the same size, it was sticking over a bit, and so I had to go back in and kind of trim it off. But in this case now, it's not sticking over, as you can see. So yeah, so that is the first part to this. The next part is you're going to want to make your little window well. So you can do it one of two ways. You can do it on here, you can put your foam on here. Or to me, I think it's a little bit easier if you go ahead and put your foam on here. So you're pretty much going to do the same step on the top of the box. You're going to layer it with tape. And I swear I just lost my tape. Oh, it's right there. It's so thin. So you're going to layer your box with the tape. And just try to get as close to your image as possible, because you don't really have a reference point at this point. Unless, I guess, you know, I guess I could lay this on top and see where I should be putting my tape. But I think that as long as you're really, really close to the edge, then you should be okay. Just make sure, yep. So I'm just trying to put this as close without going over, because it has that, you know, it's an irregular cut, so it has that little dip right there. So you want to just make sure that you're like as close to that as possible. And I'm just going to put tape all the way around, because like I said, we're going to do the same thing here as we did for that pink piece. We're going to put some acetate on here. So I'm just getting really close, so that I can layer my acetate down, okay? And then you're going to release your paper, or your paper that's, you know, your backing for your tape. And release that all the way around. Make sure it's stuck down good. And then you're going to take your other piece of acetate. I already cut it. And you're just going to try to kind of center that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't want it to be where I don't need it to be. So I'm just going to kind of try my best to center that onto the top of the box. And then I'm just going to kind of press that down really well. Okay, so then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to layer the surrounding area with some foam tape. And what I did was I put double-sided tape on one side, and then there's what do you call it? It's double-sided tape on one side, and then there's already some like release type paper on the other side. So I'm just gonna try to get this as close to that little point as possible, and layer a bunch of different pieces of foam. Kind of didn't want that backing to come off yet, but so I just cut these by hand. You could definitely cut out a you know, especially like if you have a Cricut Maker or something like that, you can definitely cut your foam out with your Cricut Maker, and that way you don't have the trouble of trying to line it up. Like you know, I have to kind of line up my tape, but let's see. And then the other problem is I kind of cut this already earlier, and so I don't know if I cut it correctly, but we'll see. We'll soon find out, right? So I don't think I need that much. So I just cut that off on the side, and then I'm going to cut this little part off right here. And you're not going to see any of this because this front part, I hope I'm in frame, but this front part is going to actually cover up all of that. So you're not going to see the foam, and that's why you want to get the foam as close to these little dips as you possibly can. And I need just one more piece of, one more thin piece. Maybe I can use these little small pieces. It doesn't matter as long as it kind of butts up against the next one. And you can use small pieces. You can also use a die to cut strips, as I was trying to explain in one of my other videos. And I'll kind of show you a die that I have that that you could use to kind of cut strips. My backing paper came off of this one, but I think it'll be okay. I'll just put some more double-sided tape on that one. Because my tape kind of came off. But I think that'll be okay. Okay, so I got it all butted up against one another, and that's what you want because you want all your shaker bits to kind of stay put where you want them to stay. So the next thing is the most fun, which is grabbing your sequin mixes and adding sequin and pearl beads and different things to your mix. So I love to use like seed beads, so I'm going to use a little bit of seed bead up in there because it makes it kind of shake around a whole lot better. So I'm going to use that. You know, you can use any sequin or beads or whatever. You can even cut some stuff out using your dies or using your punches. And so, I mean, I didn't make a mix prior to, so, you know, but just have your mix already ready and waiting on you to do this part. But like I said, I just wanted to kind of do all of the steps because I know that some people have questions about how I create my shakers and stuff. Always got to put some gold in there. I think the gold just kind of makes it pop. And so when, you know, when you filled it up as much as you think you want to have it filled, then it's time for you to put on your top. And so I'm just going to take a few more. I normally have like a little spoon doing this with, but right now I would have to pull out my other sequin packs and get the spoon out and all that good stuff. So just going to use my hands and put my little sequin stuff in there. And I think that's good enough. And so what I normally do is just kind of shake it around just to kind of flatten out everything to make sure nothing is kind of sticking up further than where the foam tape is. And so then the next thing to do is just take off this release paper and be very careful at this point because this part of the foam tape is very, very sticky. And so you don't want any sudden movements where you kind of like knock your sequin onto your tape because sometimes they can be very difficult to get off of your tape. So I'm just releasing all of my paper and I'm actually holding it. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm kind of holding my paper, holding my project really tightly so that it won't move. Oh, like that. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to take more tape and put it around this shaker window part. Okay, and so I'm just going to use again my tearaway tape. You can definitely use some wet glue on here as well, but I just want to go ahead and use this because you don't have to worry about it, you know, waiting on it to dry. Just make sure that you go all the way around the edges really well because you don't want your shaker pieces to go flying out when you shake your box or when someone shakes your box. So just make sure that all of your little corners and stuff have a good amount of tape or glue on it. And you should be fine. So I just put tape all around this part of the shaker. This is my front part, this is my back. And so I'm just going to release that paper off the back of that sticky tape. And I love using the tearaway tape because, you know, you can tear it with your fingers. You don't have to worry about scissors or anything. And so what I'm doing is just, I'm looking at the inside portion of my design. And, oh, I am trying my best. Like I said, I'm standing up, so it's a little bit more difficult to craft and stand and look through the camera. So, pardon me. And you don't always get it on the first shot, so I want to make sure that it's lined up as good as I can get it. And that is it, guys. That's what we gonna do right there. I mean, it ain't perfect, but it's okay. And so then you want to just press that down really, really well. And now, look, you got a see-through shaker. Okay, so that is the first part. And then all you have to do is layer your pretty glittery piece right on top. And you can use wet glue for that if you want. Let's see. I do have some wet glue somewhere over here. My Tombow liquid glue. So I'm just going to put some liquid glue on this one. And then we're going to layer that on top. Just try not to put too much glue because you don't want it to be like oozing out of the sides. You want it to be as clean as you can possibly get it. So I'm going to just put some glue on there. I'm going to actually dab this off onto this scrap piece of paper because I think I got a lot of glue on there. And then I'm going to take this and put it right on top, lining it up. Line it up as best you can. And it should fit right around that little image, and it just gives it a more decorative look. The other box that I did, I forgot to put this part on there, but it was still fine. It still looked really cute. And so that is that. Your top is pretty much done so far. You know, all you do after that is just fold on the score marks. The machine is gonna put your score marks where they need to be. It's a really easy, simple box to create. I'm going to fold on all of these score marks, and it's up to you if you want to use wet glue or tearaway tape. I'm going to use some hot glue really quickly, only because it sets up very quick and it's pretty strong. So pardon me for 1 minute while I just put some hot glue on all of these parts. All I did was just put some hot glue there and put it together just like that. And I did that for all 4 sides. So that is the top of the box, and it is completed except for decorating. Then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take the bottom of your box, and this is what it looks like. And all you're going to do is just fold that the same way, and you're going to glue those pieces to the side. Now, I will be honest with you, I don't recommend using this paper for a box because I find that it's not a very thick paper. The other box that I did create, I think it was a bit, I think the paper felt a bit thicker than this paper. I'm not sure why, but it does. So that is the bottom of the box all together. And then you have the top of the box. And so we can just put the top onto the bottom. Just like that. So that is the box pretty much put together. I'll show you how to put one of the little inside pieces together. So you're just going to score on the score marks, and the machine is going to do that for you. Actually, I want to score the opposite way. And the reason is because this is a single-sided paper, and I actually want my pretty part of my paper to show in the inside instead of it being white. So you're going to put all of these pieces together, and then what you're going to do is you're going to I would glue this tab instead of gluing it to the inside like this, like you would normally do. You can glue it to the outside, and then you won't even see that tab on the inside. But it's up to you how you want to do it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on that part, and I'm going to put that part together. And don't forget, when you're purchasing this particular cut, you need to purchase the top and the bottom. So there's going to be 2 different cuts that you need to buy. And then you're going to just put these interlock, you know, you can put those 2 flaps on the inside and interlock those 2. I'm honestly not sure how you're supposed to put that part together, but I did it in a couple of different ways the last time. So, I mean, it's up to you how you put it together, because it really doesn't matter. But I will tell you that I did put some glue on this flap and that flap, because I wanted my box to not, you know, come apart. So I just put just a dab of glue underneath those little flaps, and it kind of just held the box, that part of the box together. So just 2 little dots underneath these little flaps, and that's how that looks. And so then you could put your little box piece in. And so that's how it's looking so far with just the one. And then you're going to do the same thing with the rest of them. And then after that, you're going to decorate your box. So I will be back. I'm going to put these together, put it inside of the box, and then we're going to decorate the top of the box just a little bit. Okay, guys, so I am back, and I have completed all of my little inserts. I've completed the shaker, as you can see, and then the little inserts are all done as well. This is the Gather collection, and so it does have the music note as the little inserts. And I did not glue these inserts down so that you can actually pull them up if you needed to. And so that is what it looks like so far. And so now, you know, pretty much all you do is go to town decorating your box however you want to decorate it. It's totally up to you. As you guys know, I love bows. So I think the first thing that I will probably do is make me a little tulle bow. And I know a lot of you guys always ask, how do I make my bows? And it's just this simple. I just make some bunny ears and then tie my bow just like that. And then I try to make, you know, the this part, I try to kind of make it match as much as I can to the other side. And that's pretty much it. And then I just cut it on off. I hope I'm in frame. So I just, you know, you can take this part and kind of line it up to make sure that you're cutting it at pretty much like the same length. And that is pretty much it. That is how I make my little tulle bows. So I'll probably add a little tulle bow to the box somewhere. So I have that. And then you guys know that I just did a haul from Tuesday morning, and this is some ephemera. I literally just opened this up, so I haven't really seen all the pieces that are in here. But since this is that collection, the Gather collection, I figure maybe we can find some bits and pieces that we'll probably be able to use to decorate the top of the box. So of course I love to use the floral pieces. It has like these little ballerina pieces in it. This little ballerina acetate piece is really, really cute. I think she'll be really cute on there. Can't do too much to it because this is pretty. It'll cover up our little shaker window, and I guess we don't want to cover up the shaker window. So I don't know, we may use that. I don't know. Has these big pieces too. Some leaves and some more flower pieces. Some little cards from the heart. Really, really cute. So it looks like there's a lot of cards and tags in this particular ephemera piece. So I'm going to use the few pieces that I just pulled out to decorate the top of the box. So You can use foam tape. You can use whatever you like. I think that this little ballerina girl might have like a adhesive, not adhesive, but like a film on top maybe. I'm not sure. I know sometimes like the pieces have like a film on the top and on the back. Yep. So yeah, if you have pieces like this, just know that you may have like a film on there, and you need to take that off because otherwise your piece will look kind of weird. And I'm guessing it's only on one side. I don't know. So we're gonna put her on there somewhere. I don't know if I want to put her that way or that way, but I think she'll look cute on there. And then maybe put some floral pieces or something down here on this part. And so I think the leaves may go flat, maybe. What do you guys think? So I'll take my glue gun and I'll just put a little bit of glue. And I'll lay my floral piece on there. And then take a little bit more glue. And be very careful if you're using acetate that is not like heat resistant. I'm using acetate that you can actually run through a printer. So I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. I don't think that I'll have a problem. What do you guys think about that ballerina girl? I'm just not so sure about her now. But I do want to pop up this, flower piece up with some foam tape. So I'll stick some foam on the back of that. And I just use the foam, the little foam squares from the Dollar Tree most of the time. And they seem to work fine. So I just want to stick some on there. And then put this down on my project. Let's see, how do we want this to go? Like that? You think that's okay? Look, I'm talking to y'all like y'all can hear me, right? Yeah, I think I'll put it that way. And so I just put that on there. And so I got a little flower cluster going on down there. I haven't put this bow part on there yet. I kind of wanted some type of word or something on here. So let's see. I'm actually looking at my stuff and trying to see if I have like a word to put on there. I can put maybe this hello on there. This is a thicker set that I've already had in my stash. And then there's a pretty word, love, in here. Beautiful, but beautiful maybe too big. Yeah. I don't know. Let's just go with this hello. So I'm just taking the thicker off of here. Kind of stuck because I've had this for a long time, for at least 2 years, I think. So just kind of trying to take it off of there without ripping it. But I think that'll be nice to put on there. I don't know, y'all. I'm just winging it. I'm just gonna wing it. I don't know. Do you guys get like that? Like you don't really know what you're doing, but you just be doing some stuff. And then, I don't know if my girl can get back down inside of there as much as she can. I think that would be okay. So I'll glue her down, and then I need a place for my bow. Maybe my bow will go off to the side over here. I don't know. I don't know, guys, but we're gonna go with it because I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So we're gonna go with it. This is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna put the bow right up top right there. And I'm going to glue down the acetate. I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow on there. Let's see. Stick that back down in there. And that should be okay. Once it dries, it should be okay. And I think that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the extent of my decorating on camera for you guys. Oh, because I do not do that well on camera. But anyway, that is the shaker box for the Gather collection for my ephemera pieces that I may cut out or want to use for projects. I think it still came out really, really cute. You can do all kind of stuff with it though, you know, put banners on there and do all kind of stuff, but I'm honestly really, really tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. I hope that you guys found this helpful, and as always, if you guys have any questions or comments, just leave them down below and I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Take care, guys. Bye.